Robert Evans was a Hollywood producer. For a time, he was head of Paramount Pictures. This man was married 7 times. He was perpetually tan. And in the 80s, he had an incident with yayo. He was skiing on the slopes with tons and tons of snow. He was born on June 29th, 1930 in New York. He was a Cancer. As legend says, his brother had a clothing line. They both went to LA to try to sell the clothing to some stores. One day, he was chilling poolside at the Beverly Hills Hotel when actress Norma Shearer spotted him and thought Robert was perfect to play her husband. Producer Irvin Thalberg, they called him the Boy Wonder. He had just passed away at the age of 37. So he's made it to Hollywood. He's in a film. Next, he was cast in a film called The Sun Also Rises, written by Ernest Hemingway. He was to play a bullfighter, but leading lady Ava Gardner and Hemingway were both against him being in the film, which reportedly led to studio head Daryl Zanuck saying, "The kid stays in the picture." Robert basically knew he couldn't really act, so he set his sights on producing. And he had some hits like Rosemary's Baby, Chinatown, classic, Love Story featuring his then wife, The Godfather 1 and 2. As an executive, he was instrumental in making Paramount successful, but he wanted to make more money, so he left and he struck a deal with them, a producing deal. In between all of this, Robert managed to get married 7 times. His first wife, actress Sharon, they were married for about a year. Wife number 2, actress Camilla Sparv. These two were married for a whopping 3 years. Wife number 3, Ali MacGraw. They were a Hollywood it couple. Together, they had a son, Josh Evans, who is Robert's only child. Ali had an affair with Steve McQueen. They got divorced. She married Steve. But Robert has always said if he could change things, he would have still been with Ali. Wife number 4, Phyllis George. She was a newscaster and the first woman to be on national sports television. They were only married for about a year. Afterwards, she married the owner of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Wife number 5, Catherine Oxenberg. They were only married for 9 days. She was on Dynasty. Remember, her daughter was in a cult. It was a big thing. Wife number 6, Leslie Ann Woodard, also an actress. These two were married for 2 years. Rounding out lucky number 7, Lady Victoria White. They were married for a year. In 1980, our guy was busted for trafficking large amounts of Coca-Cola, powdered sugar, if you will. Around this same time, he was introduced to a producer named Roy, and together they were like, let's make a movie called The Cotton Club. They were introduced by a woman named Lainey Jacobs. That was her alias. Her real name was Karen Greenberger. Apparently, Robert and Roy struck up a deal. They were going to produce the film. It was an exciting time. Then Roy went missing, and a few days later, they found his body. Years after that, a hitman said Karen had hired him to take Roy out. There were whispers that Robert had something to do with this. He was called to testify. With the advice from his attorney, Robert Shapiro, he never testified, pleading the fifth. As you can imagine, his career took a hit after this, but he was always looked at as a Hollywood legend. Robert Evans passed away in 2019 at the age of 89.